Second. Ooh. And we're live. Hello. Welcome, Amanda.
Hi, thank you.
So welcome everyone to our first event of our Virtual BailaCura 2020. Woo woo. Yay. It's early for us on the East Coast, but it is even earlier for Amanda. It's 6 a.m. She's in Arizona. So very much appreciate you being here. So this is our first event. We've got some meditation and yoga with Amanda, and then we've got a full day for everyone. And you can follow on our Facebook right here, or you can also follow on our YouTube channel. So Amanda's going to get us started. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Amanda. I am a holistic practitioner, and so as Susan said, I'm in Arizona. I'm currently studying in a program that's helping me to become that. But I do things like yoga and life coaching and Reiki, and that's kind of like my whole thing in life. But I really, really love yoga. That's like my biggest passion. And so I'm really excited to be here and teach you guys a sequence today, and hope you guys just kind of get into your bodies a little bit to start the day. So yeah.
What a great start to the day. Awesome. Well, I'll let you get set up, Amanda. I'm actually going to follow along as well. So I'm going to come off the feed and I'll let you take it away. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get set up over here. And so I hope everyone can hear me all right. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. So I have a few notes right here that I'm going to be following. So that's, if you see me looking down at all, that's what I'm doing. But okay, so let's all get set up as we get ready for a yoga sequence. So I'm sitting here on my yoga mat. I hope all of you guys have a yoga mat underneath you, or at least some kind of non-slick surface. The other thing that I'm going to be using throughout the sequence are some yoga blocks. Yoga blocks are really great because they're just things that that kind of help bring the floor up a little bit higher in certain postures. It's a little bit easier to reach the floor, and they kind of help with stability in certain ways. And of course, not everyone has yoga blocks, so if you don't have yoga blocks, another really fantastic alternative, should put all of these props really far away from me to reach. Another really fantastic alternative is to get a stack of books, and these are things that you can just kind of put on the ground at the top of your mat or something, and they can help bring the floor up a little bit higher. You can move them around as needed. Or if you need, you can also bring a chair over close by if you feel like that's going to help you with some support. You can set your mat up close to a couch or close to a wall, and use things in your surroundings to help you throughout the practice. The other thing that I'm going to be using is a yoga blanket, which is not that different from a normal blanket. And so if you don't have a yoga blanket specifically, you can use any kind of blanket that has kind of like a textured surface to it. So you can see that this isn't going to slide around on the mat a whole lot, versus other kind of blankets that have like a slippery surface and might slide around. That can cause some problems. So you can find any kind of blanket or towel, or even like a pillow would do just fine. And we are going to be using these pretty soon into the sequence. So go ahead and take them and place them at the top of your mat, really like just wherever it is that you're going to be facing. And have those nice and handy and easy to reach throughout the sequence, because we will be using those. And so, awesome. The other thing I want to make sure you guys know is that throughout the sequence, it's going to be a sequence I'm going to try and teach to everyone, but of course I can't see you guys right now. And so just make sure that you're modifying for yourself, that you are doing what feels right in your body. If at any point we get to a pose and it feels like it doesn't feel right in your body, feel free to modify for yourself. You can do a different kind of pose. You can not do the pose at all. I encourage you to take your own body into your responsibility and say, this doesn't feel right in my body, I'm not going to do this. And so I'm going to try and teach to everyone, but of course that's not going to be accessible always. So be very careful in that kind of sense. Awesome. So if you need to go ahead and walk around the house and grab little materials and set up your space, go ahead and do that now. And I'm just going to start kind of going over a little like background on yoga. So yoga is an ancient practice that originated in India. And the word yoga actually is an ancient Sanskrit word that means union. And it comes from the root yuj, which means to bind, to attach, to yoke, to join. And so in its essence, there are a lot of definitions to yoga, a lot of ways you can look at yoga, but I'm going to be kind of simplifying it for you guys today. And so how we're going to be approaching it today, what yoga means is it's union between yourself and the present moment. And so we're going to be talking a lot about presence today, and how yoga really is a practice of coming into presence. So let's go ahead and start with a nice grounding and centering exercise. So go ahead and find a nice tall seat wherever you are. You can sit with your legs crossed like this. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can also come up onto your shins and sit back on your heels. You can bring a block underneath your heels or underneath your hips, whatever feels good for you right now. And just find a nice comfortable seat. Sitting with your spine nice and long, hips rooting down into the earth. And just allow the eyes to close and your attention to move inwards. Take a nice inhale in through the nose and open the mouth and sigh it out. One more time, in through the nose. And then open the mouth and sigh it out. Actually, one more time. Let's do that again. Inhale in through the nose. And open the mouth. And just let everything go. And just drop in. And just notice the body. Notice the breath. Notice the torso. Notice if you're wanting to lean forward in the torso. Maybe you're wanting to lean backwards or side to side. And see if you can find center here. The bones of the body naturally like to be stacked. So see if you can find the easiest way that the bones in the body can stack themselves. You can have a nice long spine. Relax the shoulders down the sides of the body, away from the ears. Reach the crown up towards the sky. On your next inhale, begin to draw the air deep into the belly, filling it, expanding it like a balloon. Letting that rise up into the rib cage and then up into the heart. And then exhaling from the heart, the rib cage, and then the belly draws in. Inhaling, expanding the belly like a balloon, letting it flow up to the rib cage and then up into the heart. And then exhaling from the heart, the rib cage, and then the belly. So inhaling from bottom to top, like you're filling a water bottle. And then exhaling from top to bottom, like you're pouring out that water bottle. And this is 3-part yogic breath. Continue this breath at your own pace, at your own rhythm. As I introduce the theme today. So the theme is presence. It's the full experiencing of the current moment. And when I think of presence, I oftentimes think of a child. I think of the kind of presence that a child has. They're just so immersed in the moment and so curious about everything in their life. And so today we're going to be experiencing that. We're going to be bringing presence into our practice by connecting to that childlike kind of presence, the childlike joyfulness and curiousness and playfulness. So go ahead and take a moment now and bring a memory to mind of a time when you felt so purely present and playful and curious and joyful. Let yourself arrive to that memory now. Notice how it feels in your body to be in this memory. Does your body want to open a little bit? You feel it in your heart. Do you notice a smile wanting to grow on your face? Connect to that feeling right now. And I invite you to let that feeling flow through your practice today. Let yourself carry that feeling into the practice, because ultimately yoga is meant to be something that's fun. It's meant to be playful and awaken a sense of curiosity within us. So go ahead, release the breath technique, and draw the palms together into the heart in prayer position. And we'll open class with one resonant sound of Om. So inhale to receive your breath for Om. And then pausing at the end of the vibration to let it sink in. And then opening the eyes, lowering the hands down. So we'll get started with some nice gentle stretches and movement just to kind of join breath and movement. So go ahead and on your next inhale, side sweep the arms out to the side. Inhale them all the way up and overhead. And then exhale, palms draw together down to the heart. And just pause for a moment here. Again, inhale, arms reach out to the sides and up and overhead, riding the inhale all the way up. And then exhale, palms together, down to the heart. And pausing here. Inhale, arms reach out to the sides, riding the breath all the way up. And then exhale, palms together, down to the heart. One last time. Inhale, arms reach out and up. And then this time, as you exhale, draw the left hand down to the floor. Right hand reaches out towards the left side of the room, finding a nice stretch for the whole right side of the body here. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, release a little bit. Exhale, see if you can find a little bit more depth here. Notice where your hip is here. Notice if it's wanting to come up off the mat, and see if you can draw it down into the mat, finding that opposing stretch the whole right side of the body as you press down in the right hip, reaching out through the right fingertips, drawing the shoulder back into its socket. And just breathe in here. Maybe pulsing back and forth a little bit. Inhaling back up to center. And then exhaling, right hand down now, left hand towards the left side of the, or towards the right side of the room. Again, draw that left hip down into the mat. Finding a nice stretch to the whole left side of the body. Maybe pulsing here. And as we find this side body stretch, we want to find as much length in the spine as possible. So maybe imagine that you're reaching over a giant beach ball. So notice if you're wanting to crunch in this right side. Imagine you have a giant beach ball that you're bending over. And just breathe in here, pulsing back and forth. And then inhaling, arms reach up overhead. And then exhaling, palms together, down to the heart. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. And then exhale as we move into a gentle twist. Twist from the bottom of the torso, bringing the right hand down to the left knee. Left hand reaches back behind you, kind of like a little kickstand here. Inhale, lengthen through the torso, reach up through the crown of the head, and then twist from the bottom of the torso, followed by the heart, and then by the chin. Breathing here. Letting each inhale bring length to the spine, each exhale a little bit more depth. And again, only going as far as you feel comfortable today. Not trying to reach any goal here. No one is judging how far you can twist or not. Inhaling, coming back to center, arms up overhead. And then exhaling down to the right side. Left hand comes down to the right knee. Right hand comes down back behind you. Again, inhaling for length. And then exhaling, twisting from the bottom of the torso, followed by the top. Sending the breath to any parts of the body that are tight or tense. Letting them draw blood flow there and loosen them up. Inhaling back to center, arms reach up and overhead. And then exhale, palms together, down to the heart. And then relax them at your sides. We're going to come into a tabletop position now. So go ahead and if you have your blocks anywhere else, place them at the top of your mat. And as we come into a tabletop position, you can also, if you're on a hard surface, so right now I'm on carpet, so I don't really need it that much, but you can take a blanket and place it underneath the knees. And that can just add a little extra padding underneath the knees. So go ahead and find a nice tabletop position here. Hips are stacked directly over the knees. Shoulders are directly over the wrists. On your next inhale, lift up through the tailbone. Draw the belly down towards the earth. Lift the chest. Finding a nice cow pose here. Exhale, press the floor away. Curl into the back. Allow the crown of the head to reach down towards the mat. Cat pose. Inhale, belly draws down, tailbone and heart lift. And then exhale, pressing the floor away, drawing navel in towards the rib cage, crown of the head reach down to the mat. You do this about 2 more times at your own breath, your own pace. Inhaling into cow pose, exhaling into cat pose. And then when you're done, coming back to tabletop position. Letting shoulders again over the wrists, hips over the knees. And then on your next exhale, draw the hips out towards the right side, circling them back towards the heels. Inhaling as you circle them up towards the left side, up in front of you. Finding some nice hip circles here. Maybe you find you want to walk the knees out a little wider. Maybe they want to come closer. Find what feels good in your body right now. Just circling the hips back and forth. Just waking them up. If you hear any pops and cracks, just know that's them thanking you for moving them a little bit. Again, inhaling as you shift forwards and exhaling as you shift backwards. And if you haven't already, go ahead and reverse directions. Just opening up every little crack and crevice in the hips. Letting them wake up this morning. And then when you feel complete, coming back to tabletop position. Now imagine that you are a lion in a safari. Allow your childlike nature to come in now. Imagine you're a lion in a safari wagging his tail back and forth. See what it feels like to walk as if you're a lion. Feeling your tail sway from side to side. Maybe you start to feel the torso wanting to get involved here. Maybe you feel the shoulders wanting to imitate the way a lion walks. Maybe you imagine you're crouching down low in the grass. Just imagine, feel into that energy. What does it feel like to be a lion now? Let yourself come into that full expression now. Opening up all the sides of the body, the shoulders, the hips, the whole body getting involved here. And then when you feel ready, coming back to neutral, back to tabletop position, and walking the hands out slightly and sinking the hips back to the heels, coming to child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat, or you can bring the forehead to a block or just stacked hands, whatever feels good for you in this moment now. And just breathe here in child's pose. Know that this posture is always available to you. If at any point throughout the sequence, the posture feels a little too challenging for you, know that you can always come down to child's pose. Next, inhale, lift the hips back up, coming into tabletop position. And then step back with the feet, curling the toes under. And then inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, pressing them back into downward facing dog. The belly is strong here, pressing down through the heels. Knees are slightly bent, hips are lifting up towards the sky. Maybe you find you want to pedal out the feet a little bit. Bending into one knee as you press the other heel down towards the mat, and vice versa. Just finding some gentle movement. And then coming back to stillness, back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, reach the left leg back behind you. Pressing the heel back towards the back of the room. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the left elbow. Inhale, extend the leg long, three-legged dog. And then exhale, draw the knee in towards the right elbow now. Inhale, extend the leg long. Exhale, draw the knee in towards center. And then exhale, lower the chin down to the mat. Coming onto the shin here. And then maybe walking the right leg back behind you. And just finding a moment here. Just begin to rock the hips back and forth here. Finding some nice movement through the hips. Again, we're resting on the shin now. So if you come into pigeon pose, hold off. You're getting a little bit ahead of yourself because you're going to be coming to that in a little bit. But go ahead and just rock back and forth on the shin here. Finding some nice gentle movement, opening up the hips. So just a second ago, we were a lion in a safari, but now imagine you are a snake slithering through the Amazon forest floor. Again, invite your inner child to play here. Imagine you're a snake slithering from side to side on the Amazon forest floor. Maybe you find yourself wanting to get down low, imagining you're slithering through the grass and high brush. Feeling the whole body here as you slither from side to side. And then imagine you see a tree here. You see a tree and you begin to climb up this tree, climbing through the branches here. Feeling the whole body get involved, the shoulders, the head, the neck. Just finding your inner slithering snake. Let yourself be curious here. And then coming back to stillness. And then on your next inhale, draw the left knee out towards the left wrist. The ankle comes out towards the right wrist as we shift towards Pigeon Pose. So this can be a really challenging pose for some people. So if this is really hard for you, I'm going to face this way so you guys can see me. You can always take this right leg and bring it over here so the sole of the left foot is kind of facing inwards on the thigh of the right leg. You can see this. So this is one option if pigeon isn't very available to you. The other option is that you can come down onto your back and you can come into figure four, the left leg, the left ankle on the right knee, and draw it in towards the body, or you can just rest it on the floor, whatever feels good for you right now. But wherever you are, if you're sitting upright, make sure that this hip is supported. So one thing that people tend to do in Pigeon Pose, they tend to collapse onto this left hip right here. So make sure that this hip is supported. And so this is where the blanket or the pillow is going to come in handy. So go ahead and bring a nice pillow or blanket underneath that hip to support it up. We want to be very gentle with ourselves because we're doing Pigeon Pose a little early on in our sequence, kind of as a warm-up pose. So from here, go ahead and inhale, lengthen through the spine. Maybe you walk up onto the fingertips. Maybe you find a little bit of a back bend here. And then exhale, slowly begin to walk the hands out as you fold over that bent knee. And find a gentle Pigeon Pose here. Maybe you rest your forehead on a block. Maybe you rest it on stacked hands. Maybe you hang out here for right now, and that is okay. Wherever feels good in your body is absolutely okay. And just breathe here. Just breathe. Notice if sensation is coming up that's a little challenging to be with. And see if you can just be curious about it. See if you can drop the labels of good or bad and just be curious and playful about it. Maybe you continue to find a little bit of gentle movement here in Pigeon Pose. Maybe it's rocking the hips a little bit. Maybe it's moving the shoulders or the forehead on the earth. Whatever feels good for you right now. And if your hands are off the mat, go ahead and bring the palms of the hands down to the mat. And inhale, slowly lift the torso back up. And then exhale, begin to slide the knee back to meet the right knee. And then bring the knees together and sink back into Child's Pose. And just breathe here. Maybe you continue to find some gentle movement here, maybe rocking the hips from side to side, or the forehead from side to side. And then come back to stillness. Inhale, lift up to tabletop position. And then inhale, step the right foot back, followed by the left, coming into plank position. Exhale, hips go up and back into downward facing dog. Again, pressing down through the heels, bending into the knees, hips go up and high, core is strong here. On your next inhale, extend the right leg back behind you. And then exhale, draw the knee in towards the right elbow. Inhale, extend the leg long. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the left elbow now. Inhale, extend the leg long. And then exhale, draw it in towards the center of the chest. Hold for a moment. And then exhale, lower the shin back down to the mat. And then release the tops of the feet, maybe drawing the knee back slightly. And just resting on the shin here, and again, begin to find some gentle movement through the hips. And just rocking from side to side. Just finding some gentle movement. And then, again, begin to connect to your inner snake. Imagine you're that snake again, slithering through the Amazon forest floor. Maybe you want to walk your hands wide here and really get into this feeling of being the snake. Getting low to the ground, getting the head involved, letting the torso really embody this feeling of being a snake. Let yourself play here. As adults, we don't usually get to play that often, so give yourself permission to do this now. Now imagine you see a tree and you begin to climb the tree, slithering through the branches. Maybe you allow the eyes to close and feel that you're truly there. And just breathing through it all, letting the breath guide the movement here. And then coming back to stillness. And then slowly shifting your right foot, coming into your pigeon pose. We kind of mentioned some modifications for this in the last slide. So again, modify however it's needed for you today. But go ahead and shift the right knee towards the right wrist, the ankle out towards the left wrist. And support yourself as you need here. If that means noticing that this side is a little different than the other, maybe this side you have to come into this kind of position, or you need to come into figure four. Whatever you need, allow yourself to do exactly what you need for your body today. Inhale, lift up, lengthen the torso. Maybe find a gentle back bend here. And then exhale, walk the hands out in front of you, folding over that bent knee. And then again, bringing forehead down to the mat, to stacked hands, to a block, or bringing blocks underneath the forearms, letting yourself go only as far as you can today. There's no goal that we need to reach, just simply listen to your body. Again, maybe finding some gentle movement here, rocking from side to side. And just breathing into any challenging sensations. Saying, I give you space to be here today. Releasing any labels of good or bad and just letting them be here. Just being curious about them. And then if the palms aren't on the mat, go ahead and return them down to the mat. Bring them underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift the torso back up. And then slowly slide the knee back to meet the left. And bring your knees together. And sinking the hips back towards the heels, hands walk out in front of you, coming into child's pose. Again, maybe finding some gentle movement here. Just allowing yourself to give your body what you need. On your next inhale, lifting back to tabletop position. Inhale, step the feet back behind you. Exhale, sink or lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Find stability here. Keeping the core engaged, the spine nice and long, the hips reaching up towards the sky. Shoulders are widening. And then on your next inhale, begin to walk the hands up to meet the hands, coming into a gentle forward fold. Inhale, half lift here. Hands right at the shins or the thighs. Core is engaged, crown of the head is reaching out in front of you. And then exhale, bend into the knees. Allow the belly to rest down on the thighs. And just allow the arms to be heavy, crown of the head reach down towards the mat. And just breathe here. On your next inhale, press down through the feet, bend the knees. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, coming into a standing position. Exhale, palms together, down to the heart. And then relax them at your sides, coming into mountain pose. Just allow the eyes to close here and drop in. Just notice the body. Notice the movement in the body, how maybe it feels a little different now than it did this morning before our sequence. On your next inhale, open the eyes, step back with the right foot. Notice where the hips are wanting to face. If the hips are wanting to face out to the right side, see if you imagine that you had like headlights on your hips. See if you can point those headlights forward. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, bend into that front knee so it's directly over the front ankle. And just breathe here. Inhale, open the heart. And then exhale, palms together, down to the heart. We'll begin to shift into our warrior 3 position. So this is a balancing pose. So let yourself have fun with this. So slowly begin to shift your weight forward onto your left onto your left foot. And begin to slowly straighten into that left leg, inching that back foot up just a little bit closer. Maybe this is your warrior 3 today, keeping this back foot down on the ground. If you can, maybe you begin to lift the foot up, flexing into that back foot, pressing out through the heel, keeping a nice strong core here. Nice long line from the back of the heel all the way out through the crown of the head. And just play around here. Maybe you can find warrior 3 here. Maybe it's down on the ground, whatever is in your practice today. And if you'd like, maybe you can begin to grow wings and fly as if you're a plane and play around with your balance here. Woo. And then exhale, draw the foot back down to the mat. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead, high crescent warrior. And then exhale, palms together, down to the heart. And then step up to mountain pose at the top of your mat. And just shake out that leg. Whew. It is hard doing this while teaching. And then coming back to mountain pose, coming to stillness, maybe allowing the eyes to close, your attention to move inwards. And just notice the body. Notice the different sides, how they feel a little different. Notice what's happening in your experience right now. And breathe into it. On your next inhale, open the eyes, step back with the left foot now. Again, Notice if the hips are wanting to turn out to the sides, and see if you can point them to face forwards towards the top of the mat. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, bend into that front knee so it's directly over the front ankle. Notice if your knee is wanting to splay out to the side or inwards. See if you can drop directly over those middle 3 toes. Inhale, open the heart, and then exhale, palms together, down to the heart. And then slowly begin to shift into your warrior 3 position. Shifting the weight forward onto that front leg, inching the back leg up just slightly. Maybe this is your warrior 3. Maybe you find that your sides are a little different today, and that's okay. If you can, maybe you can begin to flex into that left foot, the back foot, pressing out through the heel, finding length through the spine, lifting it up off the mat slightly, finding your warrior 3. This is a hard side for me, so I'm going to keep my foot on the ground. Maybe, if you like, you can begin to grow the wings and play around with flying like you're a plane today. Flying and playing around with your balance, just having fun. Woo. And then exhale, lower the foot back down to the mat. Inhale, high crescent warrior, arms up overhead. And then exhale, hands together, down to the heart. And then stepping up to mountain pose to the top of the mat. And just shaking out the legs, letting the arms rest at your sides. And allow the eyes to close. And attention to move inwards. And again, just notice. Notice the body. Notice the breath. Notice what's showing up right now. And just be with it. And the next inhale, open the eyes, circle, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, leading with the heart, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Allow the knees to bend here so deeply that you could rest the belly on the thighs, maybe wrap the hands around the backs of the knees. Maybe you choose to let the arms be heavy, grabbing opposite elbow, and just release down to the mat, down to the head. Dropping down to the mat, releasing anything you don't need right now. And just breathe in here. Just noticing the breath, letting it restore. And then if the palms aren't already on the mat, go ahead and press the palms down into the mat. And slowly begin to lower the hips all the way down until you come all the way down to a seated position on the mat. Hips meet the floor. And then slowly lower the back all the way down, coming into a lying down position. Extend the legs long here. On your next exhale, draw the right knee in towards the right side of the chest. Flex into the foot. And just breathe here. Just breathing into this posture. Maybe you find you want to rock the leg from side to side. Beginning to explore this hip here just a little bit. Maybe you find a certain area and you want to hang out there. That's okay. Allow yourself to hang out there for a bit. Right now I'm feeling it right here. So I'm going to hang out right here. Give yourself what you need right now. And then exhale, release the leg, extend it long. Inhale, draw the left knee in towards the left side of the chest now, flexing into both feet. Hand wraps around the back of the thigh. And just breathe here. Maybe you begin to find some nice gentle movement, rocking from side to side. Finding what feels good here and hanging out there. And just breathing into the sensations, breathing into any tense areas, letting them loosen and open. And then coming back to center, releasing the leg long. And then exhaling, drawing both knees in towards the chest here, coming up into a little ball, giving yourself a little hug. You all deserve a hug. And just maybe rocking from side to side, massaging the lower back. And just breathe in here. And then release the soles of the feet down to the mat, bending into the knees. And then maybe walking the feet a little wider, maybe towards the edges of the mat. Take a nice deep inhale here. And exhale, allow the knees to fall to one side or the other. Inhaling them back up to center. And then exhaling, knees fall to the opposite side. Inhaling back up to center. And just do this a few times, following your own breath. Then maybe some nice gentle movement through the hips, gentle twists through the torso. And just breathing and moving, finding any last minute movement you need before we prepare for Shavasana. So as you prepare for Shavasana, go ahead and bring the knees up to a straight position, extend the legs long. Maybe walk the feet out towards the edges of the mat, letting them sway out towards the sides, releasing the hips. Hands can rest down at the sides, palms facing up. The back of the head resting down into the mat. Whole body feeling heavy and supported by the floor beneath you. So as we move into Shavasana, Shavasana is a time for deep rest and relaxation. It's a time to let your body restore and surrender at the end of your yoga practice. And so just let yourself lay here in Shavasana as I guide you through a gentle whole body relaxation meditation. So allow the eyes to close. Just let yourself receive my words. As I name each part of the body, experience it directly without interpretation or analysis. All 10 toes. Both ankles. Both knees. Pelvis. Belly. Chest. Arms. Throat. Face. Back of the head. Shoulder blades. Back. Buttocks. Calves. heels, soles of the feet. Sense the whole body from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. Complete awareness of the whole body. Whole body. Every cell, every organ, rejuvenated, nourished, and healed. There is absolutely nothing for you to do right now. Simply rest here in whole body awareness, rest and stillness. You notice your mind beginning to wander. Let it come back to the body, back to the breath, and let yourself relax here. Release any need to do and simply be here. And slowly begin to draw awareness back to the body, back to the present moment. Beginning to slowly deepen the breath. Maybe feeling the air on your skin or the weight of your body on the floor beneath you. Slowly begin to awaken the body by moving fingers and toes, stretching the body like awakening from a deep and restful sleep. And then on your next exhale, drawing the knees in towards the chest, curling up into a little ball. And rocking from side to side here, just letting the body slowly awaken. See if you can keep the eyes closed. Keep this inward attention here. And then eventually make your way onto your right side, curling up into a little fetal position. And just rest here for a moment. Offer yourself gratitude for your practice now. And then using the strength of the arms, press yourself up to a seated position, keeping the eyes closed. And just notice. Notice the quality of the mind, the body. Notice how easily you sink into a meditative space here. And then go ahead and draw palms together into the heart, into prayer position. And we'll close class with one resonant sound of Om. So inhale to receive your breath for Om. And then pausing at the end of the Om to receive the vibration. And then bowing head into the heart as the heart lifts. And then lifting the head, opening the eyes. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this practice today. It has been such an honor to guide you guys through it. Thank you so much. Namaste. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda.
Of course.
That was great.
How do you guys feel?
How does everyone feel?
Yeah.
Stretched out and ready for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful, Nicole.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. First attempt at yoga.
Ooh, wow, very cool. I hope you liked it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you, Amanda, so much. That was a great way to start our day. And so, yeah, everyone tune in about 2 minutes. We are going to have a session on self-defense coming up with Gloria, and that will also be streamed. The links are out there. Follow Amanda on Instagram. She's got some words of wisdom. And also, if you want to learn more about her and her practice, check out her website. So, yeah, we appreciate having you.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Awesome.
Yeah, well, we will see you, everyone, in a bit.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.